Let's continue with our Dog's Age Calculator program. We have built the structure of the program. We have declared the variables. We may need others if we forgot some, but we have our variables and our important constant. So now we're going to get our input from our user, and again at the end of this there'll be a side trip if we want to take it to see all the different ways there are to use scanner object and some of the tricks that we need to worry about. So getting the input from the user, again, here's our program and our IPO chart. So we want to make sure your scanner object's been created. This is used to read from the keyboard, or any input device for that matter, but for right now we're reading from the keyboard. Always, or almost always, you want to ask the user for input, and then you want to get the input, and then you want to test. And then we'll take our side trip. So this one's kind of a really, this one's pretty straightforward. So get input, it's always ask and then get. So we always do system.out.println. Okay, now what did I ask in my original program? I have to go back and look. So basically asking is please enter the dog's age in human years. And in my example, I just did a print, so it would be on the same line. And then we have to get it. So the way you get it is you do an assignment statement. You do human year equals standard in.next int. Okay? And what this does is reads the next, oh I can't type, next integer from keyboard. Okay? That's what this does right here. So we're making use of standard in. We call the function nextInt. It will read whatever you type in from the keyboard, and then it will display it to the user. Okay? Now we said test. Let's test. System.out.println. You said plus human year. So let's just make sure we get every step working before we go any further. So let's see if this works. If I click on go, down here it says please enter the dog's age in human years. I will say 8, and it will say you said 8. Life is good. There are some glitches here. If I run this and I type in largle, that's not an integer. Let's see what happens when I do that. Oh, it gets ugly. This says input mismatch exception. So we are not doing any error checking at this point. We will in a few weeks, but for right now, we're going to go off of the belief that the user is going to type in exactly what we want. So where are we at? Declare our variables, get our input, and temporarily we're going to display what they put so that we can make sure we're doing it correctly. Again, after this video, there'll be a side trip that shows all the different ways that we can use this, or some of them, or a lot of them, and some techniques and traps. Okay, so let's continue.